I am so excited to get into all of the new phone news, but before I do, I wanted to let you guys know that I am hosting a really fun event this weekend. It's Cadillac's Charge Forward live stream event. This is going to be celebrating the all-new 2023 all-electric Cadillac Lyriq. This is the Cadillac of EVs. I got a sneak peek at how more than a century of Cadillac innovation led to the inspiration of this revolutionary new vehicle. It's such a tech-forward, all-electric vehicle, and I cannot wait for you guys all to check it out. The event has an amazing musical performance from Tinashe. We've got some amazing thought leaders in tech and culinary, and Lewis of Unbox Therapy will also be there. The live stream begins on September 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and it will be featured right here on YouTube.com. Following the event, you can go to Cadillac.com to reserve your all-electric 2023 Cadillac Lyriq Debut Edition starting at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific. I look forward to seeing you guys all there, or actually you'll see me there because I will be hosting it. Anyway, let's get into the new iPhone 13 news. So we now have 4 new iPhone 13s. We have the iPhone 13, the iPhone 13 mini, the iPhone 13 Pro, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And what's kind of exciting, these are all being released at the same time. If you guys recall last year, there was a delay on the iPhone mini, and I think that the iPhone Pros came out first. I feel like this is something that I should know very well because I lived and breathed it for the entire tech season. But either way, all of them are gonna be out at the same time, and I think this is really exciting for people who are looking to decide which one to get. Before, you had to wait if you wanted the mini. Something else to note, I've been seeing all of your comments and your tweets, and everyone's like, but it's like the same phone. I just got an iPhone 12. Well, if you just got an iPhone 12, that's really great because you don't need to upgrade. Like there is no one's like forcing you. No one is coming into your home and taking you to the Apple store, making you buy a new phone. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Simple as that. But a lot of these upgrades are pretty significant if people are looking to upgrade from an older iPhone. Like if you have an iPhone 7 and you go to the iPhone 13, or you even go to the iPhone 12, that is a huge jump. A lot of people do not upgrade their phones every single year. But some of the upgrades for the iPhone 13 is there is a new camera system, and the previous version, the iPhone 12, had a vertical layout, so these are now diagonal. They do also have the new sensor shift technology, which is where the actual sensor itself shifts to alleviate any type of movement in the actual phone. So this is going to be able to give you that stable video footage that we know and we love. And of course, this will make for better low light photos and sharper images. There's also 5 new colors. There's a pink. I was hoping for like a super hot pink, but I really wanted a pink phone, and guess what? Here it is. It's actually called pink. It's not called rose gold. It's not called gold. The gold that kind of looks like the pink, and we just say that that's pink. No, this is actually called pink. I guess we'll talk about the other colors. There's a blue, there's a midnight, a starlight, and a product red. I've also seen a bunch of people on Twitter saying that they really like this new product red color. I'm gonna be really interested to see what it looks like in person, because I feel like every single red that Apple does, it's almost completely different than the previous version. I also like that they're calling the new silver or like the white phone Starlight. When they first announced Starlight, I was like, what is that? I don't even know what is Starlight. They also did manage to make the notch smaller, about 20%, and everyone is like, oh, but they still have the notch. Like when I read tweets and people saying negative things, like that's how I hear it. Like that's when I read it, I'm like, oh, that's what I hear. It does also have a bigger battery, and there is a new Super Retina XDR display. It has a brighter screen, up to 1200 nit peak brightness, which they're gonna be also making this more power efficient. And that's great because you are getting longer battery life with a brighter screen, and of course a higher performance with the A15 Bionic chip, which is 50% faster than the leading competitors. So I'm not really sure even like what that means, because I would be curious to see how much faster it is than the A14, and I didn't see those specs anywhere. It also has an improved neural engine for better machine learning, and this is where it's kind of interesting because this whole machine machine learning thing is gonna be really kind of aiding in this new cinematic mode. They talked about being able to now rack focus, and what's great is you're gonna be able to not only do this on the iPhone 13, but also on the iPhone 13 Pro. And this is kind of a feature that I feel like normally would only be out on the Pro versions, but it's so exciting because you can do this on the iPhone 13 as well. I'm so excited to try this out. It looked really interesting in the actual event. They filmed like this whole little tiny like cinematic movie all on the iPhone. I think most people, they would be like, that wasn't shot on an iPhone. There's no way. It's too incredible. Like, look at the focus. It was actually really impressive to kind of see the way that the focus was able to shift. It did still kind of look like a phone was focusing. But the thing that I really like is you will have the ability to go back and refocus something. So it's basically like being able to refocus a video once it's already filmed. It's pretty cool. Like, I can't do that with this camera. They've also got some MagSafe cases in some new matching colors. They've got the new leather wallet with Find My built in, and I'm very excited about that, as I mentioned in my recap. The sizing on these start at 128 instead of 64, and you can configure these up to 512 gigs. And honestly, it's really great that they did decide to up this to 128, because I do feel like 64 gigs, especially shooting this higher quality content, like you're gonna be filling up your storage very, very quickly, even if you are storing things on the cloud. The question that I'm always getting from everyone is, which iPhone do I get? You probably would be perfectly fine with an iPhone 13, but I do miss having the zoom lens. It really does make a huge difference when you're doing video and you're taking photos. So really, if you are a content creator, I really do think that you should get the Pro. Speaking of the Pro, the iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 13 Pro Max, the most exciting thing I think for me is getting an upgraded telephoto lens. It's now a 77mm equivalent, and this is gonna give you a 3x telephoto zoom. Kind of cool because this is gonna be on both of the iPhone Pros. In the iPhone 12 last year, one of the only reasons that I actually went and got the Max version was because I wanted that 2.5x zoom, because it wasn't on the iPhone 13 Pro. It gets a little confusing. Like, things just sort of all get, I don't even know. Like, this is something that I live and breathe, and I still get confused. So if you, as a normal everyday person that does not live and breathe this, gets confused, it's okay. We're all in this together. But what you need to know is the camera specs are exactly the same on both phones, and that is, thank you, Apple, for just making this so much easier for us. The Max version is honestly a really big phone. Like, if you don't want a big display, like, you can definitely get away with just using the smaller version, which may be something that I do this year, but then I feel like probably gonna be like, man, I really wish I had the Max, but do I do the same thing that I did this year when I got the Max and the Mini, and those were kind of like my two devices? To be determined. Anyway, the new iPhone 13 Pros now have Pro Motion Display, and this is something that we're very familiar with on the iPad Pros, but we can now have this variable refresh rate, so it can go all the way up to 120 Hertz. And what this means is the phone is actually going to be auto adjusting the display. So if you're just looking at a photo, it's able to optimize, but if I'm watching some 120 frames per second content that I just filmed on my new iPhone 13 Pro, it'll then be able to automatically update the screen refresh rate to be able to display that more accurately. Like, if you've never really experienced a 120 Hertz display, like, it's actually really pretty impressive. And there is a huge difference when you're looking at them side by side. So I think it's gonna be kind of cool for people who have never been able to experience this before, and experiencing 120 Hertz for the first time, you're gonna be like, oh, whoa! They've also upgraded the storage option up to 1 terabyte. This was something that I was hoping that they did actually last year, but honestly, it's fine. I'm glad that now it's here because I have officially filled up my 512 gig iPhone 12. So this is perfect timing. So the design of the new iPhone 13 Pros looks very similar to the previous version. They do have the new color of that Sierra blue. They've also got the gold, the silver, and the graphite, which are very similar colors to the previous versions. Again, the notch is also a little bit smaller, and like I said before, they do have the all-new camera system, so this is going to be aiding in those things like the cinematic mode that they talked about. And then the new macro photos are going to be really cool. This is something that we have seen on other phones like the OnePlus and Samsung's, but now it's finally here to the iPhone, so I can hear you guys saying, well, but everybody already had it. Well, now we have it too. All of the cameras do have night mode, including the telephoto. There's another really cool feature that Tyler is actually a huge fan of. They're photographic styles. So you can customize these in-camera looks so you don't have to actually edit your photos. So it's kind of like you are editing the photo before you take it, and then you take the picture and it already has your look applied to it. And for me, my look is upping the saturation and making it very contrasty. It's like, if you look at my Instagram or any photos that I always post, it's pretty aggressive sometimes, but that's what I like. Something else for us content creators and video people, I know that's what I focus a lot on, but that's my entire life. So that is something that is very near and dear to my heart. We're gonna be able to shoot ProRes video up to 4K, 30 frames a second. And hold on, before we get into that though, I must say this is also a little bit upsetting for people who do decide to only get the 128 gig model. You can only shoot ProRes 1080p, and I think the reason for this is because the video files are going to be so huge that they don't want you to completely just take over your entire phone with ProRes video. I do feel like this might be a little bit upsetting because I feel like they kind of should have let you have the option to do that. Maybe just make it a shorter video. I'm not sure, so if that is something that is important to you, just know that you're gonna need to get the larger storage option so that you will be able to shoot in 4K ProRes in the future. And the fact that we can now shoot ProRes, Dolby Vision, HDR content on like a phone, plus with cinematic mode, like I think that people might be missing how huge this actually is. I'm just thinking about it and I'm very excited. So the overall design of the new iPhones is very similar to the previous version, and I thought for sure, because the new iPad mini had Touch ID integrated into it, that they were gonna do that in the Pros. I really wish that they did. Although having the Apple Watch be able to unlock your iPhone has made a really huge difference, but I still just wish that they would have had the Touch ID in the button. You did it in the iPads. You could do it on here too, please, please. I also kind of thought that they might officially switch to USB-C because they did also do it in the iPad mini. It's like I wanted them to do it, but I also kind of didn't want them to do it because I already have so many lightning cables and like everything just kind of works together. Either way, it's iPhone season, it's tech season. I'm excited about the updates. And again, if you did just get an iPhone 12, you really don't need to upgrade. If you have an older device, then this is gonna be a huge upgrade for you. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you'll see the videos that I post when I actually get these devices in the studio. And I got a chance to chat with Tim Cook. It was like the best thing ever. So be sure to also go check that video out. I'll put a link in the description. And with that, my friends, I will see you in the next video. Bye. Oh my gosh, pink iPhone. Can't wait. Yes.